Poncho Knows. The subject is certificates of authenticity. A lot of you are really confused about that certificate of authenticity. I'm gonna tell you, personally, I'm gonna tell you a secret. I can't stand certificates of authenticity. But I will tell you that the customer is always right when they request one. Let me tell you what it used to be. A certificate of authenticity was usually only issued for a limited edition, okay? It came with anything that was replicated or reproduction, whether it was offset lithograph, signed and numbered, and that transferred over into G-Clays being signed and numbered. There was always a numbering system to track the edition size, okay? When the economy crashed in 2000 and the internet came about, suddenly people who had been collecting limited editions began to request certificates of authenticity for original works. That is still a very sensitive subject for some, and a confusing area for some. Let me tell you that originals typically did not have a certificate of authenticity, okay? Now, because of the trend change, I will do them for customers, even though that still does not make it more valuable or less valuable not to have a certificate. You have to choose which one works best for you. When I sell my original works now, depending on what kind of work it is, if I need to, or my client requests one, I'll create one, but I don't necessarily create a certificate for my originals. Does that sound crazy? Yes, it does sound crazy, but I'm just telling you how to deal with this subject because I see a lot of people confused about it. I have been distributing prints for nearly 30 years, and so now I have this thing where clients who bought certain editions back in the day who lost them, or the gallery destroyed them or held them because they didn't want the client to know where they came from, so they wouldn't purchase direct. It's all kinds of tricks going on that you got to know about first, okay? So I'm not saying that happens in every case, but I do know some people who held back their certificates for that reason. Nowadays it's a little bit different, but still you have to discern what's in your best interest. If you are doing a limited edition of any kind that's a replication, you should have a bona fide certificate of authenticity, okay? If you are doing originals and you have not sold a certificate of authenticity, don't worry about it. When the appraiser gets a hold of that piece, they're going to look at the piece, they're going to look at any attached paperwork that's with it, invoices. The certificate is good for them to have to assess because certain information about the piece will be featured on the certificate, but it doesn't necessarily mean that not having that will devalue what they're going to find. And so I know it's confusing, but keep up with it. Try to participate the best way you can. The customer's always right. If they ask you for one, it's not going to cost you anything to create one. But I want you at least to know what the rules and regulations are for the certificate of authenticity. Poncho Knows. Peace.